What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Slice of Rutgers video. I am on the beautiful College Ave campus, here to ask students about their opinions on cancel culture. Let's go. Hi, can you tell me your name and what class you're in?
My name's Anna, and I'm a freshman, so class of 27.
How are you enjoying Rutgers so far?
I really like it. I think it's really fun. I'm from Texas, so it's really different and new, but I really like it.
Oh, that's a distance.
Yeah.
So, we're here at Rutgers asking students about cancel culture. Are you familiar with the term itself?
Yeah, I am.
So, I think a lot of people have different definitions of what cancel culture is. In your mind, what is cancel culture?
I think specifically to today, cancel culture has become something where people project their own biases and opinions on what is morally correct or incorrect, and then they use that to almost control the way other people think, in a sense where, I don't know, I think they take power away from people with their approval or disapproval of them.
All right, so would you say that you fear getting canceled, or is that something that you're ever concerned about?
Yes. I'm like a political science major, and I want to be a lawyer, or I want to be someone who goes into politics one day. So that is something I'm really afraid of. Not so much because I say things that are wrong all the time, but we just live in a time where things change so often that things that may be politically correct to say now may not be politically correct in the future. And I'm afraid that one day that's going to bite me in the ass.
So how often would you say, like, you say social media or anything like that? Does that maybe impact cancel culture? Because I know a lot of the focus on cancel culture has been around social media, censorship, that kind of way.
For that exact reason, I think I tend to not really use social media at all. I don't use social media, period. But from what I can see back when I did have social media, I think that especially like platforms like Twitter and TikTok, people kind of join and hop on this bandwagon where they see one person getting canceled and they almost like virtue signal. And I think that they project that to make themselves feel better as people, when in reality they've probably said just as bad things.
So some people say cancel culture maybe doesn't exist or is not as bad as people think, primarily because it's like a tool to call out like the people in power that have done wrong things. So like take like Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly, those kinds of people. So do you think that those people have a point, or do you think that this is kind of a wrong interpretation of cancel culture, or what would you have to say to those people?
I would disagree. I think cancel culture is very much real. I think that especially with social media, it's been amplified so much more, and while it can be a really good thing, I think that nowadays people are always so afraid of getting canceled that they're afraid to actually speak their minds, and because of that, I think that a lot of discourse that's really necessary has been pushed away, and that people kind of like shy away from it, and because of that, people don't have conversations that should be had.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Hi, can you tell me your name and what class you're in?
My name is Joshua, and I'm in senior class.
Are you ready to graduate?
Yeah, had a good few years here, but, you know, it's time to move on every once in a while.
Definitely, I get that. I'm a senior as well. So we're here at Rutgers asking students about cancel culture. Have you heard of the term before?
Yeah, I think I've heard of the term in the past on social media, but, you know, I'm not too well-versed on it.
So based off of like your understanding of social media, or at least of like your experiences with the term, would you be able to give like a definition of cancel culture? I think for a lot of people it's kind of a nebulous term.
Yes, I agree. Definitely a nebulous term. I think it definitely has gotten blown out of proportion with what people can get canceled for in recent times. However, you know, people always are changing sentiments worldwide, so I don't really have a firm stance on it. However, I mean, yeah, social media is definitely important nowadays. I mean, everyone's on their phone. Everyone has a phone, so you know, it's just it's bound to happen with everyone communicating via online.
Yeah. So would you be able to maybe give us a definition of like what you think cancel culture is?
I mean, I would say cancel culture. I would say that cancel culture is, you know, it's actually a hard thing to define when you ask, but maybe just when the group sentiment or the online sentiment shifts against somebody's favor, and then they are outcasted, shunned, lose brand deals, etc.
Okay, so at least what I'm getting from this is like there's a loss of some kind of like financials, or like there's some punishment for maybe stepping out of the line with what a majority of people think is considered okay. So I guess in your experience, are you afraid like maybe you yourself could be canceled, or are you afraid of like maybe even those you know getting canceled?
I'm really not afraid because I don't like to live in fear of things. At the end of the day, people make decisions, people do things, and if the public sentiment were to ever shift towards me for whatever reason, if I became somebody famous, then I would just deal with it. I think people should own what they believe, what they think. I don't think people should be fraudulent because they're afraid of getting canceled. I think that people should just be honest.
So in that statement that you made, you said that talking about if you ever became famous, do you think that it's something only famous people should really be concerned about, or do you think like even maybe people that are not famous like you or I should be concerned about it?
I'm not too concerned with my current situation, but I could see why some people would be. At the end of the day, I just think that if somebody believes something, you should be able to say it without facing any repercussions, as long as it's not, directly hurting somebody. But, you should be able to say what you want. You shouldn't get canceled.
All right, thank you so much.
Great to meet you.
Tell me your name and what class you're in.
My name is Ryan. I'm an engineer at Rutgers.
Are you a freshman?
Freshman.
How are you enjoying Rutgers so far?
Pretty good. Definitely different than high school, but I expected that. It's nice.
Yeah, that's great to hear. So we're here at Rutgers asking students about cancel culture. Are you familiar with the term?
Yep.
So if you had to give us like a definition of what cancel culture is, how would you define it?
Usually when a prominent figure in the entertainment industry says something out of line with the common belief and view of many people, so they're canceled.
Can you maybe give us examples of maybe people that have been canceled, at least in your eyes?
Kanye.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with cancel culture, I know that you talked about like primarily entertainment figures. Are you yourself concerned about being canceled, or maybe even someone you know being canceled?
Yeah, especially with what's going on now. A lot of you have to be careful with what you say on the internet, especially since the war broke out overseas. Yeah.
So do you think that I'm assuming you're talking about the Israel-Hamas conflict. Do you think that a lot of people have been afraid to talk about it on social media for this reason?
100%. People lose. I've seen people speak out about it, and the next day they lose their jobs, and especially when they're speaking out. How should I put this? With and for humanity, when they're speaking out for a just cause, not exactly for a political side, and they'll still, lose their job. So yeah, people are afraid to speak out, I think, due to the cancel culture.
So some people might say that there's no such thing as cancel culture, or it's not as big of a problem as you think it is, because it's mainly just targeting like people at the top and holding them accountable to like their actions. Some people bring up like R. Kelly, or some people bring up like Harvey Weinstein. So do you agree with the sentiment of these people, or do you think they're having a misunderstanding about cancel culture?
Do I think it exists, is what you're saying?
I mean, based off of like what I said about like some people who might disagree with cancel culture or the existence of cancel culture, do you think that they're wrong, or do you think maybe they misunderstand what cancel culture is, or do you think maybe they're actually right?
I think they misunderstand. I think the whole idea, personally, I think the whole idea is wrong. I don't think it should be a thing. I think if someone really says something that's really, wrong and hurtful to a lot of people, then the majority of individuals who look up to that person or follow them themselves will move away. But to try to cancel, someone because their beliefs don't align with yours, I don't think it shouldn't be a thing.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.